Hey guys, how are we doing today? Um, First of all, I just woke up, so deal with that. And I just was thinking about something as I was sitting here with these little devil dogs on my bed, and was thinking, this is why we can't have nice things. And I say that a lot, and I'm joking when I say it usually, but there's definitely seriousness to that. And not that I need to justify my lifestyle or the way that I live, but I feel like explanations are always fun. Real life does not look like what you see on Pinterest boards and big content creators YouTube and like Google images and all that stuff. So first of all, we need to get out of that and understand that real life is real life and what that looks like. Second of all, I have a farm / homestead kind of at that middle ground where I have more than what most people have when they homestead, but I don't have as much as 1,000 head of animal where like a large producer has. And real life looks like mending fences, so fencing that doesn't always match. It looks like fence that isn't always pretty. And the reason for that is sometimes shiznit happens during the night, during weather, who knows what, and you need to tack something up real quick, and so you toss it together. And sometimes it stays like that. That's real life of farming. That sometimes means having broken down vehicles on your property. That sometimes means having junk piles. My thing is like wood piles, because I'm always like, I might use that piece of wood. I might use that scrap piece of wood, because I probably will someday. I can't throw stuff away. It bothers me. It might mean a manure pit somewhere on your property. It probably does. It can mean many, many different things. So that's number one. Number two, anybody in farming, homesteading, nobody's getting rich at this anymore. Not that anybody ever was, but especially now in this economy. Stuff is getting extremely expensive. And you have to, more and more people are learning how to pick and choose. Like, would you rather pay for this week or this week? The gap between the haves and the have-nots is getting bigger. It's getting for more of us that it's like, okay, am I going to pay my electric bill and keep my water on? Or am I going to have matching fencing? Like, that's more and more what we're all dealing with right now. My situation, this is just me personally, if you come to my place, and I know there's people that complain about the way my place looks, the fact that a lot of things are undone. First of all, part of that is unrealistic expectations. And second of it is, I'm a single woman by choice. I'm not complaining. Who's running a farm by herself, with the exception of, my daughter is my right-hand gal at 16, but still, I'm a single woman running a farm and having a job off-site. Farming, homesteading could be a full-time job in itself. Then you add to it working off-site and keeping animals alive, keeping kids alive. It's a lot. It's a whole thing. So that means oftentimes when I get home from work at 5 o'clock at night, I still have to get food on the table. I still have to do evening chores. If it's during summer or during school, that might mean taking kids to and from practices, extracurricular activities, a million different things. Plus, and then at that point, plus homework and whatever else. If my yard doesn't get cut, then my yard doesn't get cut. If you don't like it, you can either look the other way or you could grab a mower and help. But it is what it is. Sometimes we have to, pick and choose. The other thing with me is I am coming off of, if those of you that know, I'm at the other side of a divorced situation. And although the farming aspect of things hasn't changed, that was always my deal. That was always I did it. But I'm not going to go into bashing anybody, and I'm not going to go into bad talking anybody, but it is what it is. And I'm coming off of 11 years of trying to clean up literal messes that were left. So it also is going to take me time to unbury what has been buried for 11 years. So I'm trying to navigate my life. I'm trying to navigate this farm, and be patient and, like, have some grace. So yeah, in a perfect world, I'd love to have this beautiful farm that would just be so pretty, but that's never going to happen for me. I'm a very type B personality with a really strong ADHD. So it's always going to be a work in progress. But that's part of farming too, as part of, anybody out there that's a farmer is going to know exactly what I'm saying is that. And then, certain seasons are busier than others, and my home is never going to be aesthetically beautiful. I will always have baby animals of some type in my home, whether that's lambs, puppies, kittens, random critters that people dump off here. They'll always be raised up in my house. I will always have kids in my house. I've got some years before my youngest is grown up and gone, and I pray to God that years to come I'll have grandbabies. Tinkering around here, so having things that look pretty to me too is like the very bottom of my list. So yeah, that's how that is. Just a lot of learning and growing that's been happening here on my farm within myself. And so yeah, people on here on social media are overly kind, and I'm very lucky to have a following that's very gentle with me and very understanding. People on the outside are usually not as peaceful and nice, which is interesting. Usually it's the other way around. Usually people on social media will chew you up and spit you out, and usually people to your face or like in the real world are very kind. With me, it's pretty opposite. I've always been very lucky to have good people. It's the ones in real life that like to cause damage and gossip and cause problems, and that's unfortunate, but I'm pretty good at tuning them out. But anyway, long story short is we need to get out of our heads about what our assumptions are of what real life looks like for normal people and not what we see on the internet. And the second is just don't judge people. Don't judge people. Be kinder, be nicer. If something really bothers you, address it to somebody. Ask, hey, can I give you a hand? If you have a neighbor and their lawn hasn't been cut in a really long time and it's like up to your knees, instead of gossiping and being like, what a lazy piece of they are, ask them, okay, I see your lawn hasn't been kept up. Is there anything I can do? Is there a reason why? Can I help you? That goes a lot farther. So, moral of the story is more kindness, more love, less judgment, less hate, more nap time on my pillows, of course.